Today's video is brought to you by 1st Phorm. This is a pro-freedom supplement and nutrition company. And when I think of their products for you, I think of adding value to your life. And there is one product of theirs that I use more frequently than anything else that they make, and that is their meat sticks. They have these in approximately a 20 gram of protein stick. Think smoked meat. Doesn't need to be refrigerated. Eat it on the go when you get hungry. This channel is sponsored by them. I'm literally doing an ad for them right now, and I purchased these. So what I suggest you do is go down in the pinned comment, use the link that I have listed there. That is an affiliate link. It generates sales for the channel, and let them know that I sent you. Special thanks to 1st Phorm for making today's video possible. You know, I've tried to start this video like 5 or 6 times, and I'm just going to go for it. I was planning on doing a different video today entirely. We're going to continue to talk about the Judge Cano situation because there's some more information that I've uncovered through some research that I thought would be interesting to you.
The other judge, Judge Cano, is charged with, they were allegedly giving him assault rifles, AK-47s, AR-15s with a suppressor.
Folks, we'll do that another day because we have an update on something that I think that is more important, and that is the CRS Firearms case. And I'm pretty sure that at this point in time, this has inundated the collective consciousness as far as the gun world is concerned. We don't need to rehash the intricacies of that case, but I guess what I would say is that I have been publicly critical of both sides of this situation, both on the government ATF side of things and on the Irving Hoover side of things. I find, and I've said this in comment sections and other places, that the behavior of these two men was singularly stupid, especially under an administration like the Joe Biden administration. And I'm going to stop short of saying play stupid games, win stupid prizes, because I think that what has been done to these two men is absolutely horrific. And there is zero doubt in my mind that these two dudes were low-hanging fruit that was used as a political example. They are political prisoners that are still being held by the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi and Donald Trump. They are still holding Biden's political prisoners, which is disgusting to me. But we have a new development, because I was unaware that through this whole thing, and probably you were as well, that Matt Hoover has terminal cancer. So not only is he plagued with something that, and I've talked to the camp I've talked with some folks over at the Hoover camp, and I have confirmed that this type of cancer is possibly one of the worst ways to die, period, let alone dealing with it from prison. I can think of 1,000 ways that I would rather die than this. They have petitioned the court for something that is known as compassionate release, which basically means, hey, this person has a really bad illness that is not really capable of being properly treated while they are in prison. They get out to get the treatment that they would otherwise die without, right? So that is the concept of compassionate release. And we have plenty of examples that I will share with you here in a little bit. But I also find out that he had petitioned the court for a change of venue on more than one occasion because the court was made aware that through this whole thing that he was seeking cancer treatment. And the prosecuting attorney, the U.S. attorney on the case, had the case, the whole proceeding postponed on more than one occasion for her own cancer treatments. What was that same U.S. attorney's response, do you think? And again, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, you're more than 100 days into your tenure. These are your people now. This is your Department of Justice doing this. What did they say? At sentencing, this court calculated his guideline range as 121 to 151 months based on a criminal history category of I and a total offense level of 32, whatever the hell that means. In sentencing, the defendant only got 60 months of imprisonment. this court granted him a substantial downward variance. Defendant now moves for compassionate release and a sentence reduction. Defendant's purported extraordinary and compelling reasons for the reduction he seeks are neither extraordinary nor compelling. He has already benefited from a substantial downward variance in his sentence. He does not qualify for 0-point offender reduction under this code because his offense involved the transfer of firearms, and the sentencing factors under this code do not support a reduction in his sentence. This court should deny his motion. It then goes on for 7 more pages on reasons why that should not be the case. So it's okay for her to get her cancer treatments and kick the can down the road and extend the whole judicial process so that she can get the medical care that she needs. But this man had to forego some of his cancer treatments because of the venue being many, many states away from where he lives. Remember, this case was prosecuted in Florida. He's from Wisconsin. So I think that many of you who have had to undergo any kind of regular medical treatment could see why this could throw a wrench into things, let alone the fact that he is now incarcerated and obviously cannot get the medical care that he requires. He's got terminal cancer. So, I mean, it is eventually going to kill him. But when we're talking about a 5-year prison sentence, and you're talking about fighting a radical cancer, well, I mean, you are substantially cutting into the window of time that is available for those types of interventions that can extend life. What kind of people have been released on compassionate release in similar situations, might you ask? How bad in relative retrospect is somebody who made YouTube videos about a drawing? How bad is that crime in relative comparison to some of the other people who have been compassionately released? A quick Google search reveals at least 2 murderers have been released on compassionate release due to cancer. How about a child murderer released on compassionate release? Oh, and how about a Terry, a legitimate bomber from Libya? Yep, those folks sound like they're real safe people, but according to the Department of Justice and this U.S. attorney, there's no evidence that Matthew Hoover has a low chance of recidivism. I mean, the DOJ is so proud of putting somebody in jail over making videos about a drawing, by the way, of an item that they could not get to work after they cut it out, an item that was dimensionally incorrect to convert anything to a machine gun, even by trained machinists that have over 20 years of experience, could not get the thing to work. Admitted by the government, by the way. They are so proud of this that it is still on the ATF's website to this day. Look how awesome we are. Look what we did. A web of lies spun by the ATF and the Department of Justice and impressed upon an ignorant jury to put these 2 men in jail. One of them with a terminal disease that continues to worsen as he sits and rots in prison, not having access to the adequate care that he should be entitled to as a human being. All for the purposes of political gain. Political prisoners taken so they could have a high-profile story that they could put on the front page of whatever rag they wanted to run that day. Notch on their belt. Good job, guys. Pat on the back, right? This is what the Department of Justice is continuing to perpetuate. But wait, if we all just agree that they're doing a great job and allow them to pat themselves on the back, and maybe we could fondle their balls a little bit more and lick their boot a little bit harder, and then they'll eventually get around to doing something. Oh, Kurt, but they just didn't know that it was going on. Bullshit. How many of these stories do I have to bring to the forefront before we agree that this is not isolated incidents? This is a culture at the Department of Justice that is currently being run by Donald Trump and Pam Bondi. They're doing fuck all to stop this sort of stuff, because if they actually cared about the American citizens and the evils that have been perpetrated against their civil rights, instead of slapping asses with law enforcement all the time,
we will back the blue.
Well, then perhaps they would fire these motherfuckers. But they don't, because they, at their core, believe in what they're doing.
Let law enforcement come in and take the guns.
To propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
With these assault rifles, with a suppressor, with themselves.
You want them to take the guns.
So to Pam Bondi and Donald Trump, these are either your people and your political prisoners, or they are not. And if they are not, then prove it. Show us that they are not, and this is not your prerogative. And I've got to reformat my scorecard again because I'm out of space for all the stupid crap that you guys keep doing. I don't believe you, and I am so sick and tired of my colleagues saying, well, look, they're moving in the right direction, guys. They're doing some good stuff. They published this nothing burger today that did fuck all, and we should go get on the tit. Fuck that. I did not expect my microphone to detach from the desk. I'm sorry that I treated you so poorly. And I do not apologize for my behavior. I'm sick and tired of it. Because the reality of the situation is this is the easy stuff that should have happened a long time ago. The fact that we are 100 days in, we are still talking about this crap infuriates me, because the reality of the situation is if they can't get this easy stuff done now, there is going to be no substantive change in this administration. Again, 2 years. You got 2 years till the midterms, right? You've burned 100 days of it already. And I almost guarantee that at the current trajectory that this administration is failing, that they are not going to win any more seats in the midterm. So you can say bye-bye to any hopes and dreams that you have for actual change in this administration. They do not care about you. They already got your vote. And they've shown their true colors by breaking campaign promise after campaign promise, specifically when it comes to Second Amendment stuff. And I've had enough of it.